It's an interesting thing, modern comic book characters. They're sort of like modern day mythical characters. There are a wide variety of versions of them, but they usually have the same basic qualities. Batman in the Dark Knight Returns film, Batman in Japan, Superman if he was evil, the many different characters that have gone by the name Captain Marvel, but I want to focus on the one that's coming out in theaters really soon. No, not that one. I just want to preface this by saying the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe is played out is nothing short of mammoth in scale. The Thanos story arc has been over a decade in the making in almost 20 films. The fact that it's not a horribly cluttered mess is kind of a miracle, especially when you look at how many cinematic universes have failed. But there's one thing that gnaws at me. Thor. Thor was a movie that I wasn't really interested in when it first came out. His breakout film was kind of boring to me. Nothing about him seemed that compelling to me until I saw Thor 3. It's one of the biggest surprises that these films made me go from being lukewarm on this character to Thor being one of my new favorite characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It feels like he has some sort of arc. He started out the posh fish out of the water and became the one person that could take on Thanos. But most importantly, it felt earned. His mother died, his father died, his brother died, Heimdall died, his other friends died, even though he never acknowledged them, and his one female friend got written out of existence by a force even more powerful than the Infinity Gauntlet, the writer forgetting that they were there. Thor's been through a lot. Most of these characters have been. Iron Man went from a selfish, cocky, billionaire playboy philanthropist to being full of self-doubt and, in my opinion, likely to sacrifice himself to stop Thanos in the end. Captain America went from the goody two-shoes Boy Scout to questioning if what the government is doing is right, and even defying orders and becoming a fugitive. And Black Widow is just there. Man who is a nuclear deterrent. Roided out super soldier. God of thunder. Giant monster. Woman with a 9mm. Point is though, these characters have a surprising amount of depth to them considering the genre they inhabit is blockbuster spectacle. So when I see the preview for this new Captain Marvel film, I'm sort of worried that they're going to ruin what they have going. I'm sort of worried that this new character is going to be some sort of Tom Bombadil to get them out of hot water. But the thing with Tom Bombadil is, he didn't take on Sauron himself, even though between him and Frodo, he would be far more qualified to do it. We like that Frodo got to Mount Doom and was able to destroy the ring with nothing but his own courage and the help of Sam, in spite of everything. We wouldn't have liked if some superpowered character just swooped in and solved everything. So the question is, will Captain Marvel ruin everything? Will this character we just met swoop in and beat Thanos while all the characters we've grown to like over the last 10 years just sit and watch? I'm of the opinion that Thor has earned the right to fight toe-to-toe with Thanos, and that Iron Man will probably sacrifice himself to end Thanos in some way. I think that Pepper Potts probably got snapped by Thanos and Tony has nothing to live for anymore, and so will be willing to finally make the ultimate sacrifice again, like he almost did way back in Avengers 1. Maybe Captain Marvel will fit in just fine with the rest of the characters. I don't have a problem with her being another heavy hitter like Thor. I guess I've grown attached to the Thor character, from his big bad guy being some big robots in Thor 1, to find a guy who can rewrite reality. He's sort of like that low-level Murkrow I caught and trained myself into a level 77 Haunch Crow. Sure, it technically would have been a lot easier to just get someone to trade me a level 100 Mewtwo, but the fun of it all was training that Pokemon myself. The interesting part of Thor in these movies is that we saw his journey from losing his hammer and discovering his lightning powers to rebuilding the axe Stormbreaker and using that axe to at least temporarily best Thanos. Like I said earlier, Thor defeating Thanos feels earned. I haven't seen the movie yet because it's not out, but Captain Marvel would have been better to have been released around the time Doctor Strange got released. That way this character wouldn't feel like a Deus Ex Machina. But who knows, hopefully my fears are completely ungrounded and it'll be fine. We'll find out pretty soon anyways.